Alright, this is what I am calling no-toes. And this particular one was found by Tish Egerton just recently, and I found them 5 years ago. But mine are not as deteriorated like this, and hers are an outstanding example of the no-toe. So I have a no-toe toe, which broke off the same as like hers. See this one? And on the side, it's very hard to see, and you won't be able to see it. So I'm going to cut it down the side. But the toe actually can be seen in here. I know you're never going to ever see that. Well, maybe you can. I don't know. But anyway, it's in there. And I have other examples where they're in them. Now, this is literally this spot right here. Alright, hers are twisted over a little bit. But, you know, what it is the no-toes erode. Hers are eroded here. That is not supposed to be eroded. When they come new, they're like, well, you know, new. When they're alive, they're like this. They look like a foot. And the bottom has these huge things. And look at this. It has a regular sole built into the foot. I mean, I don't know what to say, but that's what it is. And deep inside here, look at the size of these things. They're deep. And inside here, see this here? That's where the tibia fits. And that's where the heel bone is. And the damn thing's heavy. And that's where the fibia, tibia, no, this is the tibia, that's the fibia. And of course it has this little jobber going here for some reason, whatever it is. And I can see the toenails underneath here. And they all have this little round thing on the front, like a holding the fabric together. And everywhere you see this stuff, that's where blood ran out. And this is the bone black over here. But anyway, that and this one here, you see this here? That's that same step. You see it? That's that same step that's on this one here, right here. It's the same thing. It's all eroded. And that red and so forth, that is the that's where the blood was. It turns into iron oxides. So anyway, this is going to get. I'm going to try to slice this off. And I'm going to show you a selection. I'm going to do some surgery today. And the bottom of this, if you can see that shiny little flaky stuff? I don't know if you will see that or not. Hold on. It's a real shiny little flaky stuff. I think that's like raw silicone. And toes turn into literally raw silicone. They turn into this. Hold on, I got one right over here. And I'm telling you, it's a toe. You're going to say, oh, that's not a toe. I'm going to say, yes, it's a toe. That is what happens to toes. That's what happened. That was a toe. And that side was the vein side of the toe. And this was the callus and everything. If you look at it carefully under the microscope, you can see it. This is a toe, too. You see the shiny part of the toe up here? Let me see if you can see that. You know, I never know what can be seen. But anyway, that's the shiny part of the toe. That's the guy's callus right there. I know it's insane, but it is what it is. And that's the bottom of the toe. And that bottom of the toe and the toenail, which is that shiny part, they will end up turning into silicone. Not this big. That one will end up being like a dime size maybe. But this was a huge toe. And they come enormous. And I have some here that are just way beyond you're ever going to believe. From 200-foot tall creature. But this is the structure of the toe. Anyway, so that's what we got. And I'm going to show you some other stuff, then I'm going to go out and cut them up. Before you roll your eyes and start laughing, you might as well pay attention to this. This is from Helix Bio Labs. This is it's Paleo Labs, Helix Paleo Labs, if you want to look them up. It's they did 3 DNA tests. And all 3 of them were done on the ancient protocol. It took a long time, it took a couple of months to get this done. And if you want to read through the tests, it's on mudfossils.com. There's all kinds of information about this. And it goes down and down and down and down and down. And they did negative controls, and they did all the stuff you're supposed to do. And it ends up coming up, they're all Homo sapien, mitochondrial, cytochrome B gene, and mitochondrial D loop, and so forth. Now, I don't tend to understand what this all means 100%, but I do understand the word mitochondrial DNA human 100% words. And that's what they said. And it was verified and certified by the lab director for a Helix Biolab. Now, Eaton Biolabs also did something in the sequencing. And we also had Jesse Garant do the CAT scans. Absolutely amazing. Hold on one second. All right, I probably have 4 or 5 videos about these no-toes on my Mudfossil University site on YouTube. Anyway, this is Triassic rock. And I show this over and over and over, and I have a goose's head and everything that's in perfect shape. But this is the footprint, and this is the top of the footprint of the same thing that I just showed you of a no-toe. And that is the bottom, the gray shale, a gray clay, and that is pushed down through the red bed. So understand what I'm telling you now. This is the red bed, that is the gray clay. The gray clay is supposed to be on top of the red bed, and it was, and we can see it here, and you can actually see that gray clay. Oh, I'm going to fall over right there. If you can look, I don't know if you can see that again, I don't know what's visible or not, but the gray clay was on the top. The guy's foot pushed that gray clay down through the red bed in one day. So that is the Triassic rock, and this is the black cap that went over the top. You see this? See, that's all the red bed there. And then on top of that is the black cap. And there it is right there. Alright, so that's the Triassic footprint. That is, and when I say Triassic footprint, it is the Triassic signature. Black cap, gray shale, red bed. And that is Triassic rock, and I am in the Triassic rock area near Dinosaur State Park, and this is all the parts of this Triassic, and I prove it. Now, in addition to that, I have a ton of different no-toes, and I break them up like this. This was a no-toe, and that is the bottom of this no-toe. It has actual, you know, the bottom of the skin and everything. That is skin. You look under the microscope, it's skin, there's no question. And the front has this particular pattern right here. You see that blackness? That black, and then you see these round globbers. I don't know what to say. They grab onto the toes that are on the front, and the toes on the front are like this, and they're completely encased in flesh. And this was the heel part, and the same thing on the heel. There's nothing in between. There's 2 long pieces and a spring, and Tish's stuff shows it very clearly. Well, I don't have it here as clear as yours. But they do this. And then right above that, there's a flop of skin. It's very, very strange. So I'm going to go and cut these up and we'll see what we got. Alright, this is Jesse Garant. These are the people that did the CAT scans. They did 7 CAT scans for us, and they are absolutely phenomenal. They do this kind of stuff. They can tell you if your engine's any good and what the tolerances are without even taking it apart. Absolutely incredible. And now with these laser 3D printing and everything, they have new processes to verify that the integrity of that product is good, which you can't tell. Once you print all that stuff, what are you going to know? You got to think, and if that thing goes in something that's critical to you, you're going to die if it's not good, and these guys can tell you if it's not good. So absolutely phenomenal people, best people I've ever met in my entire time doing this. You need something done like this, and you don't go to these guys, you got a problem in your mind. All right, now, on top of this, I had Gil Headley look at the stuff, who owns his own autopsy school. And here's Gil. And he certified all this stuff that I'm showing you, and he owns his own autopsy school, teaches this all the way around the world. Very, very skilled, highly intelligent person with insights that I didn't realize, and he was showing me things that and I sat through a bunch of autopsies that he had shown online, and cutting different materials in the body and how it affects the blades. And that is where, and all of the tendinous material that I'm talking about is limestone, CaCO3. He says when he cuts them, he has to replace the blades. It dulls the scalpels. And that's because he's cutting through stone. Anyway, there was a lot, he gave me a lot of insight. And then he verified everything I'm saying. and any other anatomist will. And he's an autopsy guy. He's done zillions of them. So, and he teaches everybody around the world. So that's just a fact.